Everyone on Wall Street will tell you that gold is a useless pet rock. They say it pays no dividends, it has no earnings, and it just sits there. But while they tell you to buy stocks, the biggest players are doing the exact opposite. Right now, China is buying gold at a pace we haven't seen in 50 years. For 17 months straight, the People's Bank of China has been draining global vaults. Why? Why are they trading valuable US dollars for heavy metal bars? They aren't doing this for profit. They are doing it for preparation. This isn't an investment strategy. This is a silent declaration of financial war. To understand why, we have to go back to February 2022. When the US seized Russia's reserves, the entire world woke up to a new reality. They realized that the US dollar is no longer just a currency, it is a weapon. China saw this and realized, if we disobey, our money can vanish overnight. Digital money in a bank account requires permission from the United States. But physical gold in a vault in Shanghai? That requires permission from no one. Gold is the only financial asset that is not someone else's liability. This is why China is aggressively selling US debt and buying hard assets. It's not just China. Look at India, Turkey, Singapore, and Russia. Central banks bought over 1,000 tons of gold last year alone, a historic record. They are quietly exiting the US dollar system before the door closes. They see the US debt spiral. They see us printing trillions out of thin air. They are building a new trade system where the dollar is not the king. For 80 years, America enjoyed the exorbitant privilege of the reserve currency. We could print money, buy real goods from the world, and export our inflation. But the East is saying, enough. They want payment in something real. There is a darker reason specifically for China. It involves this island, Taiwan. Military experts believe China is building a gold shield against sanctions. If they invade, the West will try to cut them off from SWIFT and the dollar. But if China holds 30,000 tons of gold, sanctions won't collapse their economy. They could create a gold-backed yuan to continue trading with the global South. This is not just economics. This is high-stakes geopolitical chess. Let's look at history. In Rome, an ounce of gold bought a fine toga and sandals. Today, that same ounce buys a nice suit and Italian shoes. The value held. Meanwhile, the US dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power since 1913. Fiat currencies always return to their intrinsic value, zero. Gold is the only currency that cannot be printed by a politician. Governments hate gold because it imposes discipline. It reveals their incompetence. China knows that whoever holds the most gold writes the rules of the new era. So what does this mean for you, watching this in America or Europe? If the dollar loses its dominance, the cheap goods we enjoy will vanish. Inflation will not be temporary. It will be the new permanent reality. Your 401k, entirely based on the dollar system, is more fragile than you think. We are entering a decade of volatility, resource wars, and currency resets. I am not saying to sell everything and buy a bunker. That is fear-mongering. But having 5 or 10% of your wealth outside the system is just common sense. Think of gold not as an investment, but as fire insurance for your house. You hope you never need it. But if the house burns down, you'll be glad you have it. Watch what the central banks do, not what they say. Follow the smart money. If you want to survive the wealth transfer, smash that like button. And watch this video next to learn how to protect your assets.